finally remembered to look up if James Spader has narrated anything, and he has. In 2006, he, I guess, narrated perhaps an episode of Discovery Atlas, so I plan on watching that later. And there was something else I forgot though, but gosh, as soon as I hit go live, it got a little chilly back here. That's quite alright. So spent a little bit last night making some more braids to use for apps, and a few of them I added some of that EP fiber in with it, so UV reactive, and they look really nice as wrapped. And come to find out, not all of them are. Like, I do have a roll of Viva's French tinsel, but it's not UV reactive. Turned out this cheap roll is, see rightly, very vibrant, very reactive. A little bit early on a Monday, but was gonna be back here, figured pop this on, and got a few colors. However, could greatly add on to that by way of this. I have a load of these EP fibers that I wasn't sure really what else to use them for. Current, like right at this moment. So definitely pink. And just a few strands go really, really long way. It's super vibrant. I know it's a very off time, but it's gonna be a moment. I was thinking maybe some gray or yellow. Maybe both. I thought there was one that was just a little more yellow. Oh. Hello, Dinesh. I'm from Florida. Born and raised. Probably will never leave, to be totally honest. Got some of these. So these are really affordable EP fiber from Amazon. It's essentially Barbie hair. Now, I don't have any experience with EP fiber, so I have no idea what it's supposed to feel or act like, but I have loads of this in every color, and I don't have loads of French tinsel. I have about 4 colors, and I don't have any diamond braid or wraps for bodies other than just using cut up yarn for everything, which very nice, very good, no minds, no complaints. However, these just work really nicely. Simple braid, 3 strands of anything, and with the simple braid, it's pretty dang flat. It lays pretty flat. If I figure out how to do 4-stranded braid, then it'll be even wider with the same thickness. It'll still be very flat. And is this one? Yeah. So I'm gonna zoom her in. I gotta get outside. I have not been keeping myself very active, excluding phone calls, which isn't very, try and get it to, I almost said load, but I mean focus. So, alright. It lays really flat. Oops. Just trying to hold it in place. So, since the back isn't attached, it makes a really nice speckly, super, almost random. And looking up some more braids to find even more patterns, because maybe could do like a weave going down the hook like trap the fibers and fold it around the hook, but you can see just that. Hopefully, look at the, I think, for the amount of time it takes, which might be a little tedious for some, but with the amount of time and the lack of materials it takes, you could just make some really cool kind of speckly. And gonna be trying all different color combinations and braids once I get the hang of like holding these really thin. I think these are like, I mean, I've had to make some really thin braids before to use for drawstrings or stuff to like hang stuff exactly like this. But these foam discs also, I mentioned, these guys look just like, I'll show you. It's Kumihimo, Kumihimo is essentially just a foam disc. They come in all different materials, wood, plastic. I make mine out of cardboard, but it's essentially just a foam disc, exactly like foam discs that would come to hold hooks or flies, to add to your vise. And I should just pull this one off because, one moment, see, hear the helicopters? There's quite a lot in this part of the world. Hey dude, how you doing? Nice early Monday. But I don't think there's any appointments today. So just been kind of waiting around the phone and braiding some fibers. There was a question. Oh yeah. You know, I'm finally remembering to ask, and I've looked it up a few times. How do y'all spell fly tire? Do you spell tire as T-I-E-R or T-Y-E-R? I can't do it. One day I'll be able to hit it every time. I might use that as an instrument. It'd be sick to have a few vices and they would all have hooks on it and it would be like a kalimba, right? So I wonder. I just, 2 seconds to focus. Anyways, I might as well just try. Get in there. Okay. Good enough. I want to try to find the exact. Is this like a fluorescent light? But that would be really sweet. If could make a kalimba out of hooks and vices. I try to just push it out a little bit more. You never know, it might ring. Well, it'll take some practice. I think there's something here. I need a few more of these clamp things. Because there might be something like, that you can use in place of your finger to hit them. I mean, you can make an instrument out of anything, so why exclude hooks or vices in hooks? So, going to probably make just a few more wraps. I wanted a light pink kind of shrimpy one. And I wanted to see how this stuff will do with just this braided, because it is quite just like Barbie hair. And I'm very impressed with like what people could do with Barbie hair. However, that's probably one of the first things I learned to give up on, was getting a Barbie's hair back to how it looked. But trying to toy with this stuff, because there is quite a lot. And for wraps, like just twisting the cord like that, I'm sure will be fine. It's super waterproof, it's just plastic. And really vibrant colors. Like with the fluorescent ones specifically, you can really tell by strand how bright it is. I'm gonna sweep up that later. Okay. One thing I'm not sure about is how to keep it together long enough so I could knot the three colors together without them all getting mixed up. Maybe I will just use this with silver and gold then, rather than try to braid three of the colors first. It's just the strands. Maybe I can use some dubbing wax for it to keep the strands a little bit more together without like having something like make the rest of the fly all gunked up when you use it to wrap it. So not sure if I mean, I doubt it'll harm it, because dubbing, it's gonna be used for the body. Maybe I should just try it. Because I just need to see how the strands just want to stay apart. They're like repelled by each other. God, I wish I did that hours ago. Wow. I love that stuff so much. I have some beeswax somewhere from the Beehive and Codes camper. I'm not exactly sure. It's just like a little hockey puck that I was able to melt out and strain. Just a piece that fell off. It was just the wrong time of year. And the comb was, I never moved a honeycomb before. And beyond like random chunks, I've also never held one. And it's much heavier than I thought. It just started falling apart, so I aborted mission and just used that little chunk. We got the honey out of it, and it was oozing with honey. It was pretty nice for just unexpected honey, you know. Free unexpected honey. Like the amount that came out of the little chunk was wild. But I remember once I was with my mom at Walmart, and we were behind this older French gentleman, and he was getting tons of mason jars, and it was during holiday season, so I said, oh, you're gonna be canning something, you know. There's a long line there for a while, and he's like, no, it's for the bees. And I was like, oh, sweet, nice. And I was like, you come out and you'll see the bees. And my mom and I are like, right on. So long story short, walk outside and he's like waiting there and he's like, come see the bees. And long story short, yet again, opened the back of his truck and it was full of bees. Bees in buckets, honeycombs, everything. And he handed me a honeycomb and like a clump of bees. It was so cool. And then 2 of my high school like friends or what have you walked by and I was like, dude, this dude has bees and honey in his truck. Like, what? Crazy. Use your eyes over here. And they're just like not at all interested and kept walking. I still don't understand. Maybe they were tripping or something. I don't know. I was like, this is too much. It was South Florida in the early 2000s, so it's when like Animal Collective and of Montreal were still making albums that consumed people's entire identities. Good time. Never really thought I would miss the, not really early 2000s, like 2010s, Jesus. Forget that there's decades to, decades to all the time that goes by. It's cool to finally be able to observe change, though, like huge decade changes. Because when I was a kid, I mean, I've always loved music and pretty much any genre, or I mean, there's a song for anything. And keeps you like going in your own ways instead of like sitting and watching something, and it kind of, you know, adds some good stuff. But I was always so mind blown by the fact that the 80s and the 70s, like, visually totally different. Now, when you see like the streets and like shops and locals, like in more intimate setting footage, like random footage of walking down streets and stuff, you know, you can see it clearly. It's the same world, but the billboards and the advertisements and the music that was popular, totally opposites. Just constant like huge shifts. I've personally been waiting for disco to make its rounds again, but I think it's starting to. I don't really go to shows that much anymore, so dang it. I do like disco. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey Loki, how you doing? Incognito, how you doing? I was kind of convinced that I wouldn't see anyone today because it's hopping on so early on a Monday. But no appointments, nowhere to be. Gonna walk to the store here shortly. And might try to get some more huts, but I'm not sure. They just have a whole aisle right down the street at Tuppence, but I'm still flying blind. And right now I'm in experience mode, just trying to experience like all the different directions because it's such a limitless area of this. So I forever don't know where to start. And but sometimes I just like going, and if there's nothing I don't need, I just grab a pack of squid and a sabiki, because I spend a lot of time in there when I do go. I kind of linger and just like look at stuff, and the stuff I don't know what it is, I try to look it up. I keep meaning to stream in there and like stream all the like different types of saltwater things, but I need like a co-host for real, like the one that like calls places and it's like, look bitches, we're gonna be filming a tiny little dorky stream in the corner. This is all you'll hear. Oh my god, that's so cool. So it doesn't hurt anyone, but god, I just can't bring myself to call a place, because, you know, what, I really like streaming at my desk because I'm sat here for such a long period of time, and it's really something that's like the most cool thing. That's why I'm really stoked on the internet, even though probably a little archaic, but I have a forever respect for that, because could connect with fellow human beings on every planet, every skill set on every planet. But with every skill set from every corner. Yeah, are you working for Prada? No. Hey, Oklahoma. Very nice. Oklahoma looks like a dream. Like, one of those places that everyone's just like, obviously not everyone, but like, people are just chilling hard over there, because it hasn't been like, you know, I never hear of Oklahoma in the news or anything, and it's one of the most beautiful spots. And really laid back, like, I don't know. I will say that this maybe fiber stuff is really easy to braid. A little slippery, but all the fibers stay together, nothing. And they're pretty indestructible, so you don't have to worry about them breaking or pulling apart. Hey, Global Reset! Tying up some more of those wraps. I was just gonna make a few just to have on hand, but it hit me that I could be using this EP fiber. Well, Barbie here. It's just, I should share the listing or find the listing so y'all can see it. It's not the best. It's sold as EP fiber on Amazon. It feels just like Barbie hair, and it doesn't really move all too much. Maybe if kept long, but short isn't. But I'm sure there's plenty of uses that I just haven't learned to use that. Like, I did want to try to make a kind of like a dubbing brush with it. I'm not sure if I'll get, there's such slippery plastic fibers. I don't know what to do with them, but braiding them so far has been. So I'm just gonna stop this here. And if you braid it with the French tinsel, you can still knot it, because the French tinsel kind of like locks the knot in place. But if it's like 3 strands of the EP fiber, the knot just kind of comes undone, so you just gotta glue it. You don't want it to unravel. Nice. Another thing, where is it? It's just a gift bag, but it has a piece of, like, the drawstring on the gift bag is really, really vibrant gold braiding. Kind of like what I'm trying to get at with this, but far more scaly. I wish I could find a roll of it. I just gotta find out what it's called. But it is. Got quite a few now. I want to make a few different colors, but maybe reactive most of them. And with that kinky one, just keep pulling it, and fibers will flatten themselves out. But then when wrapped, looks pretty dang scaly, but it's still getting there. I want to do all UV reactive to see what that looks like also. But I don't know, it gave me an excuse to braid for for a day or two, because I do like that. I ended up watching some I guess stuff with my mom. I showed her Roseanne's channel. Because my mom's always watching like the Connors and stuff like that. It's just like, because like I watched a few episodes. I mean, I grew up with it on TV every morning or whatever. But the Connie's like Roseanne was off, and like she OD'd or something. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? So I haven't read anything on it, and I haven't seen like the show Roseanne since I was a child. I can't believe it. And my mom came out and visited and put it on the TV and I watched it all too. Holy trucks. Did not expect that. But I showed her her podcast, and it was just funny to see the reactions because they had no idea. The neighbor. I was always like getting into some shenanigans. It's brilliant. Dude lives a very interesting life. He always has these are tiny little cottages on the street. But he always has like 4-wheelers. There's a camper, a boat, a golf cart. One of everything. I really appreciate that incognito angle Risa. Hope your day's golden. Went to the beach a little bit yesterday, finally. But only for a second. Oh boy, that sun drops it. It was so nice. It was so warm. The water felt warm and like perfect. The sun, you could feel it finally. However, as soon as it started falling beneath the horizon, it got really cold. And but I never ID'd that bird. And like I've always wanted to not let stuff like that go to waste per se. It's not going to waste. It's going to, you know, filter into its environment and feed whatever along the way, which then feeds whatever along the way. But I really need some quills to use for wings, and can't find any. And when I do, like it's craft store feathers, which ain't nothing, but never married pairs, and I'll look at all the packs trying to find at least, like, I wouldn't care if I had to get 2 packs for just one married pair, but can't find. They swear they only use one side of the bird's craft feathers. I don't know what happens to the other half, but not sure what to. I like to do some small bait fish, but I found this glow-in-the-dark tinsel, and been kind of like, I think, mentally waiting for that. Trying to find it. Okay. It's long. And it's 0.7 millimeter, which, and it's Tigo fly, which they actually are the ones that post it. And I've seen, just from trying to sift the internet, this shirt is a little wearing kind of pajamas essentially. I was doing just some stuff around here. But Tigo fly made like kind of the bait fish, and I just haven't been able to find exactly what they're called, and their listing is the closest I could find to the ones that I really want to. And someone said they could be polar hair. And they're super flashy, and they're just the perfect size. These like meaty little fish. They look like everything down there in my exact area. If anybody knows exactly what pattern this could be, or materials used. So I've just been trying to find really thin tinsel or really long ice dub to incorporate into those, and then use craft fur and try that out. Okay, but still working on shrimps, and really enjoy how it's getting the last one, so I want to kind of try to recreate it, but this go around I want to stabilize the shell somehow, either by way of a sandwich baggie and like maybe painting some glue or something on that, and then like pressing that onto it, make a shell bag. I just don't want I want to protect it a little more. So here's our little shrimp evolution in order, but here's the one started last time, and you see the shell, excuse me, I made a very strange sound internally, but see the shell, I want to stabilize that a little bit more. That's craft fur pulled over the hackle because I wanted it to stick out in the front, but I cut it in the back for like scruffy legs or something, so it's like tick, 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 tick. But, and my idea, since I'll be using like a bait caster and this, I really want to use on the paddleboard so I could see it. I have to. And go over rocks and maybe just like have it chill. And then, I also want to make something where is that that's just not how it works. Where it is something like a shrimp that's the opposite orientation, so you could pull it for it to look. Here, let me go check to see who that is. Can't miss any appointments, but the eyes are red. Ooh. I've been rambling for a good 20 minutes. And I forgot to take it off mute. Holy trucks, Ron, I appreciate that. Because sometimes it does get pretty quiet, so... Oh, I'm making another scrimp, but there's a few different things I wanted to try with it. As using what I currently have and limited experience, only based off of like what I've been learning online and from y'all. So, and like what I slightly picture. The only thing that I really want to add on it, like that I know for sure, because the other things I just haven't figured out yet, is something coming this way to kind of hide this. So maybe like more scruff coming this way and be like that point. Maybe this was what this was supposed to be, but I think that was just left material from the shell back. I don't know if I was really planning to use that for anything. I don't think so, because I remember just wanting to make sure that the back was covered and not really caring, and I think I just left the tail and didn't cut it off. A lot of let me find code found's really good. So strip strike. Holy trucks, read woman. Strip strike charters. And there's some real nice patterns here. And the other thing, because I plan on just like kind of tying the shrimp over and over again until something naturally with those, because there's so many gorgeous shrimp patterns, but sometimes I get hung up on the materials I do not have currently, and you know, so that's what I've been really trying to keep my hands busy, maybe, and not follow patterns I'm not avoiding patterns, but I'm also not just sticking to them, just so my hands stay busy, because then your brain works out so many things. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be drawing. You could draw something right now, even if you've never drawn before, and if you give some like honest effort and like really look at, it might not be realistic. Like, I've drawn my whole life. I can't draw I can't draw shite still, but you know, I like having a pencil in my hand. I don't know what I was even saying there. Reading and talking out loud is it? Yeah, there's that polar fiber. And I do have access to Crawford. I did also email Complete Angler and Tokens again. You know, I put in the subject me again, but really trying to find some store returns or scraps to accumulate. So, because flying blind, I just really want to experience stuff right now tactily. I don't even have access to water right now, so really trying to stay busy. But on that note, let's get at it. So going to make a scrimp, but this time we're gonna make a gurgler. the craft fair, and essentially the same as these guys. I'm gonna pull them off so I can keep looking at them. However, excluding all weight and instead using foam. So I really appreciate that glowy, so holy trokes. Check this. Oh yeah, I still can't get leaps. Let's see which pattern. Oh, hook line is there. Hook line and plummet, very cool. Just a few months in, but did various forms of crafting for, at this point, decades. And natural progression, I think, or natural evolution or something. I don't know. I think anybody who like naturally makes stuff might have like some form of difficulty in finding a useful area to apply that. Like even if it's just the vague joy of enjoying to create something with your hands. And you know, my first Etsy that I wasn't able to make because I think back then you had to be 18 or 21 or something to open Etsy, but it was called Fur and Feather. And some of my original jewelry, which I wish I had it with me. I've shown it a few times. I was using goose biots and peacock curl. Had to get a little fuel in. Hey, Eva! How you doing today? Slowly, I'm trying to make a scrimp. Oh dear, I did not make any eyes. I think I'm only down to the big eyes now. That's okay. Yeah, I gotta get some sun. I am. Oh. Dying here. That's okay. The treatment, if you will, starts really any day. When the next time I shut my eyes, it feels like another week is gonna be gone. Which right now, can't complain because trying to pass some time. And I'm gonna be using craft fur. I do not have polar hair. But if anybody has any recommendations for polar hair or substitutions or where to get bulk or I hate asking where to get bulk for quality supplies. I feel like I don't know, it's like because like bulk, like when I mean bulk supplies, I really do mean like the this kind of stuff, because bulk feathers is different. Maybe. Because those can't just be like factory. I mean, there's farms, like Whiting Farm. That's all I really know currently, though. What a cool place to visit. One day hope to see it in person. But if anybody knows any farms or companies, trying to make a little bit of a directory for myself, but it will also go on Rage Baits, because Rage Baits is just, it's in my mind essentially Etsy for lures and flies, and like anybody could post their flies or patterns on it, and maybe it'll just instead of, it would have your email address or like your, like I got all this right here. I have, where is it? I've been cooking more than usual, where I have been in the last few. I've burnt the crap out of myself all over the place. I'm trying to like hide in the shadows. And I never know what is too much with this. It's, oops. I really, really want to get a few more shrimps in. There's a few patterns that look so realistic, and it's essentially 2 strands of crystal flash and some UV resin on a strategically bent hook. But really, I guess try bending some hooks. Bent a few when I was gonna try to make some bend backs finally. I was gonna tie along with the Lefty Cray DVD, but just don't get to it. But those are great. Anything weedless, really, really down to try to get familiar with, because this gives you a lot more freedom to pay attention to other aspects, especially since, you know, always learning. Oh, a moment. Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable how many spam calls they get. So I started answering them. First, I make sure it's no one important. And then, well, first, I ask who they're calling for. And if they don't know, I ask again. Because they always will answer who they're calling from, but they'll never, and they'll keep, even if you say four, they'll just say we are calling from, and you know, start that whole thing again. But you know, been rather bored, so I've adopted a few as my friends, but they don't call back after I told them they've been adopted. Visiting here. Hey, how are you doing today? I really appreciate the feathers. You have no idea. I am over the moon, to be frank. And please do never hesitate. More than happy to send anything. I do make copper jewelry too. Like just make and do hickeys, but really appreciate it. More than happy to send anything your way. Turkey feathers I've been really dying to try. Wings. Ooh. Here, one moment. I gotta get that phone. Oh, right. So yeah, I just never know what to say. So many different people call and they all need random digits and numbers. But trying to make sure nobody falls through the cracks when I give like random digits and numbers to random people. So wrote down a message and hopefully treatment was gonna start anyway, like not this week but next week. So gonna be starting the Sopranos. I still have to get my dad a pair of headphones. He just wants the you know, the ones that come with phones that have a cord, ear in. So no worry about dropping buds or having to charge them or anything like that. And his phone does have a phone jack, so. Ooh, mommy. Hit that hook. Always causes immense fear. Alright, so yeah, I really appreciate the alder is I haven't looked too far into it yet. Want to. But I believe Coastfly or Mainly Flies did a video of like this is a 500-year-old fish pattern or something with the alder, and the peacock curl body with the black hackle and turkey wings. Been really wanting to give that a go because I really appreciate the wow, that's immense. Wednesday or Thursday. Hey, that is basically like 5 minutes from now. That is really exciting. I really appreciate it. I just can't get over it. That opens every material, but I find like also opens a lot of patterns, which I know you could substitute. Use what you got. However, I will say one of oh, what's that? One of the greatest joys is for me personally is learning all these materials, and because I do know of a lot of craft supplies and materials, however, never thought of them in ways of like personalities, not personality, but like how they move, and like fabrics. Like designers will choose fabrics that flow if you want the dress to be flowy, or very nice. One pair of or one leg. Is it? Sometimes I see people add a few legs, and sometimes I'll just see one leg. Like this little guy, I put 2 legs. I mean, I figured I could always cut them off. But I always see either 1 or 2. That's a short, little funny ones. But not sure what is like personal preference at times. And also, this is the gift bag. It's in there. So this braid is super flat, flatter than my braids. So if you could find a roll of this, and it's very scaly, very shiny, like hyper shiny. And I got loads of gift bags with those on it, but won't have drawstrings for long. Hey. Also, finally, I think I finally found the types of legs that I see in a lot of the shrimp or bonefish patterns that just look great, and I believe they're called micro legs. I'm not sure if people add the orange speckle at the tips of them. This, like, I swear this freaking light makes me look like cheese or something. No complaints. Getting this on there. And these legs, I'm really thankful I was able to at least bring one of the foam bugs to the lake, because the legs, wow, an incredible display of lifelike action. I couldn't believe it. And the foam bug that I brought that day, I just essentially had it floating in the water because my casts are not casts at all. They're more of a I tried to get that out there, but after a while my just wasn't succeeding in that, so spent the time focusing on how it moved, and moved beautifully. Okay, now for the leg. I mean thumb. Which I've already cut quite a few strips out of the colors that I currently have. And this shows a quite wide strip. Hook gap width. Oh, okay. There. So that'll be it. Hook gap length. Cut an angle. Okay. I just let me just move this over a little bit. Gurgle shrimp. And this is really following the pattern found on fat fingered fly tire. The two sites I've been frequenting most to tie along step by step because I am very much a beginner and planning is not my strong suit thus far, as fat fingered fly tire as well as warm water fly tire. And again, appreciate whoever recommended that site. So let's get back here a little bit more. Never made a popping shrimp before, so definitely not improvising on this. Oh dear. I never added eyes. Huh. Might have to... how big this? Okay. Just bite that a little bit, just get a nice bend. And I made these just with these ones. It's just a black bead and painting the flat ends tip red. I'm gonna get it on first and then there you go. Since all this stuff is pretty well sitting at the same spot, let me bring this up first. I'm like here because there's a little divot there. Just a hair line. Like. Then when I get them on-ish, I could kind of bend them up. Not gonna lie, it looks like a little demonic right now. Those red beady eyes, beautiful. We're gonna use some thick glue. I should really use head cement, but it's just nice and thick. Dries quick. A little scrimp. Being born into the world. Okay. For zapping, I'm just going to use the grapher. I'm not gonna go all hard with the ice cloud, but I cannot, not do it. That's like something that would be really difficult to do. So just a little bit. Oh, I missed my tools. are tools that came in that little kit, and it didn't come with a bodkin or anything, which I keep meaning to try to smooth down a nail or sand the end of a paper clip or something. Wait a minute. I messed up. Oh dear, I messed up. Why did I put these all the way back here? What is that? I'm just gonna use this kind of. Ooh, it has some half-dry head cement on it. So throw that down here. I feel like the first one's always pretty sad. Oh no, it's hot back here. Wish to wear hair longer. Ah, it's okay. Quite alright. It's gotten very hot, so I'm guessing the heat is on. So to remedy that, I just take some penetrator. I might as well put it on the eyes too. That's all. So now little dubbing loop. And for this, just gonna use the rest of that fluff from the actual craft fur. Very excited to try other materials, but however, craft fur is easily one of my favorites, especially right now, because very easy to work with, pretty dang limitless. You could color it with Sharpie, and the underfluff is all useful. Which you know,
Hello, Moto.
spam. That's my parents' phone. They use the loudest ringtone available so they can hear it. So let me just run and just refill my cup real quick, and I shall be right back. I'll finish doing this popping shrimp, and the pattern I'm working from is from Fat Fingered Fly Tire. I'm very excited to do the back, and I might switch to a stronger thread for the back. Maybe, maybe not, but if I were to make one of these for someone, since it is like threaded down the back of the foam to make kind of like that segmented body, I'd probably want to use stronger string, maybe. This is just stuff that came in a kit, that's why I say that. So it's pretty brittle. Hey, Quack Attack, how you doing today? Making a scrimp. A demonic scrimp. Made the eyes with a red Sharpie and black beads. Gonna go grab just a little spit of coffee and get the body segmented down. I'm really excited for that. Just craft store foam and craft fur, but craft store. Hobby Lobby, demon shrimp. Oh, they might not be too stoked on that. Hobby Lobby. Scrimp. I forgot that the coffee is espresso now, so let's grab some soda. Ollie had pizza last night, so there's a 2-liter. Alright, so on top of this bad boy, in the form of a loop, and the thing about scrimps is you can be real sloppy with shrimp. I mean, these like kind of crafter ones. I always want to move the camera when I do this. Like unnaturally bad at dubbing loops, dubbing hoops, or I mean noodles. But I want to make some brushes. because I feel like I can handle that. And then just spend a day making a ton of them in all colors and thicknesses, some neat, some chaotic. Every time that song gets stuck in my head, I always hear Skeletor because of the He-Man version. Yeah. No one wants to admit it, but that is the cure for depression. Oh god, did you see that? Some naturals, anti-nutrients. I'm just gonna, am I gonna have to try this to do all this again? Because I think I'm going to have to do that real quick. Alright, try again. Like, okay. What's more of a feeling? 2 steps this time. Everybody clap your hands. It's seared into my mind from early 2000s. Our middle school dances was electric slide and reggaeton. First time I heard Daddy Yankee was at my Catholic middle school's dance. Okay. Careful, woman, careful. That is, I think, about as good as I could do with my current. Oh wait, no, we want it like that. Right. Just try to get this on here. Please excuse the ruckus. I'll pick it out a little bit more on the bottom. a wire brush up here somewhere. Alright. I gotta fix that up a little second. Now, okay. And for the segmented body, it would like you to use, you know, mono rib. I don't have that, but I do have mono. Shoot, I messed that up. Oh my god, I messed that up. I think the hardest part of the foam is cutting it. Crap, I messed that up. So you know what? Now I'm off the hook. I'm gonna just do the body with this thread, tie it off, and then two things I want to change. I want to use a hook with a larger gap. I'll just hit that with a lighter maybe, but if that happens again, because I'm gonna do with this, and then retie it. But I just want to see what everything looks like as is. Just wrapping it back through it. When I wrap it again, I would have already tied off this thread to use the mono. But since I didn't do that, just wrapping it through. Let me just tie this off real quick. Oh, I'm sweating now. God. Ooh, I might need water or something. Oops. Good job. Very professional. So, got first attempt. I'm gonna hit this with a lighter to you know, kind of try to smooth it up because I did not mean for the point to be like that. And just use the thread to do the body, but next attempt I'm going to just finish the thread off and then use the mono, because I do have mono. I'm gonna look up if it's something different because yeah, it might as well be more sure. And the legs, I want down a little bit more. But, you know, that's what first attempts are for. And I'm gonna use a wider gap hook, and then so we'll have a wider body. But let me cut this. Yes. Definitely will have a bunch more improvements with this guy, but first attempt at a gurgler shrimp, or popping shrimp. And hey, hopefully I'll get a little bit of a cleaner one next time. And a wider shell, because that's not gonna, I mean it will. I mean it has a bunch of air trapped in there, however. Want some more foam maybe? Hope everyone has a beautiful rest of their day. Might be back on later, but figured since wasn't sure exactly what the day was gonna bring. Really hard back here. Figured pop on as I can, and because pretty much pop on if I'm gonna be back here, which usually am. I am, yeah. I gotta go for a walk or something, because I need to breathe. But hope everyone has a beautiful rest of their day, and yeah. So please do recommend any shrimp patterns. I've got, you know, a decent amount of craft fur, so little family of scrimps. And if you'd like any of these, please never hesitate. We're happy to ship them out. So on that note, I'm gonna head out because I need air. I wish I knew what the temperature was back here right now. Because when it's cold, it's freezing because the windows. When it's hot, it is like a greenhouse, and it's like that right now. But on that, cheers indeed, visiting here, and again, never hesitate. Deeply appreciate it. I could hardly process. I've been looking for turkey feathers for a good long time too. Now, of course, there's always on shops and stuff, but it was just a little too out of my reach because shipping plus individual feather costs and stuff like that, and my shopping list for materials is pretty dang endless because man, I'd be sifting sometimes, and there are some very incredible directions out there. And been using, or trying to think of some ways to use beads currently, because when I do go out to the swamps, that's one of the things I'm grabbing. And like I've seen people using them for like the contents inside of a shrimp stomach, all kinds. Whoa. But yeah, I'm just very excited and very happy to be here, and we'll be here for a good long time. And I'm gonna happy trails, tight lines to the end of time. Even though I don't think I'll be out there anytime soon, but you know, I don't think the ocean's gonna dry up anytime soon. So I'm trying to take every moment and enjoy it, even if it's a little brutal or intense. But that's what like navigating human life is all about. But on that note, happy trails. I'm gonna drink some more coffee. It just takes a second for it to warm up. And then I didn't want to leave this on. I feel bad sometimes. And get really sidetracked when I walk away. But happy trails. Love y'all. Have a beautiful, beautiful evening. Oh, good thing. Ewos, everything is beautiful today. My dad's been resting for the last few days, so probably just kind of killing time that way. And because every day that goes by is a little closer to at least something, and like not just waiting, because every appointment seems to be a consultation. It's wild. Like, not the last appointment, the appointment before, it seemed like we drove all the way out there to be told that it's gonna suck. And can't tell you much more beyond that, but you know, I get that it's highly individualized and it changes every second, so you know, I am just taking everything as it comes, and that's all anybody can do anyway. Happy trails. Be good. Yeah, I think that's